32 says to select a function that has an inverse that is also a function for all values of x. So for functions, we can write an inverse equation. Remember, to write the inverse, we switch x and y and then resolve for y, and that will give us a function that has all the inverse operations with those same numbers. But the inverse isn't always a function because it has to pass the vertical line test. So if I think about A, that's a parabola, and it opens up. And remember that the inverse is a reflection in that diagonal. So if I reflect that across the diagonal, it's going to be a sideways parabola, and that's not going to pass the vertical line test. So A is out. Now B is just a line, so if we reflect that, it will just look like a sideways, a tilted line. So that one would be a function. C is also a function because that would just be a line going up 3 over 2, so it's kind of like that. Number 3 is cubic, so something like this. So that's not really going to go back on itself, so we could say that that is also a function. And then x to the 4, that is not going to have an inverse that's also a function. So I don't know if you notice the pattern, but if I have an even power, like an A and E, the inverse of those is not going to qualify as a function. It's just going to be a relation. Whereas these odd powers of x, those are fine. When we calculate the inverse function, it's a function.